Hey, funny homies, it's time for episode 2 of season 5 of the Fake Football Guys show. On today's episode, we go over our running back ranks and our defensive ranks as well. And it's going to be a really, really jam-packed show. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Fake Football Guys show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Campos, and alongside me is the greatest co-host of all time, Dustin DL Lingerman. What's up, DL?
What's up, my guy?
Not much, man. I lost my script. I'm just going off memory right now. It's crazy. But
You lost the script.
here we are again. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was my side, technical difficulties. It is what it is. We can figure it out. I memorized it, so no worries.
All right.
No worries. DL, we got another jam-packed show again.
Sure.
For
Yo,
the
this is
people
a good
at
one.
home. Yeah, can't even wait. But before we get into that, let's remind the people at home. Yeah, as a reminder, they can follow the show on Twitter. Where?
At Tweet FFG.
Awesome, easy, simple, not too hard. And remember to send those fantasy questions, start sit, draft questions, whatever you got, DL, using what hashtag?
Hashtag AskUsFFG.
Awesome. See, I memorized it. Can't
Yeah.
even forget
So
it.
far, you're like dead on. That's great.
Yeah?
Keep
All
going.
Here's where I'm going to struggle. As always, you can send those emails, DL. Where can they send those email questions?
AskUsFFG@gmail.com.
Awesome. Pretty simple as always. And if my memory serves, DL, if people want to send us voicemails, live on air phone calls, DL, where can they make those calls?
Absolutely. You can call JC at 708-655-4508 anytime, any day. Leave messages. Whatever you want. Abuse them. Let's go.
Abuse me is right. Or you can do that Nirvana song to me as well. DL, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and
Smash!
that notification button. That way you know when we go live. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and anywhere that you listen to your podcasts.
You're darn right.
Yeah, DL, I memorized all of that.
You did. Yeah,
Thank you.
like I didn't even wow, that's impressive. Who needs a
Thank you.
script anymore?
And I just found the script. So
Oh, wow.
here we are. Here
Wow.
we are. DL, another jam-packed show again, as I alluded to earlier. But before we get into that, let's take care of some very, very important information here. The Bears, they played the Bills this past weekend. What did you
Sure
think about the
did.
game? Yeah, what do you think about the game? Was it 38-0, if I'm not mistaken?
38-0. You are correct. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Mainly just because, honestly, like Caleb Williams looked poised. He looked confident. He was making throws even before the receiver turned around. There was one where he threw to DJ Moore. DJ Moore didn't even turn around and the ball was there. So I was like, holy crap, what's going on? And I love it because everyone who was like trashing him, saying he was a bust, this and that, all of a sudden they're back on his like bandwagon again. And it was like, oh yeah, he is him. He's going to be awesome.
Not everybody. Not Colin Cowherd, that bastard. He hasn't come out and given an apology or anything yet. Son of a gun.
Because he stinks. Anywho, I was really, really, really impressed. So if I was like driving in a car, right, and let's say the speed limit was like 25, I'm going like 35 right now. I'm not like totally up to the 40 because it is obviously preseason, right? It's obviously, vanilla offense, vanilla defense. Yes, Caleb looked good in that drives.
Series?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, but also Luther Burden, bro. Did you see those blocks?
Yo, that
Not only that,
goal line?
dude can catch 2 at the goal line. The dude like laid out, and I was like, hell yeah.
Physical
no block,
receiver.
No rock, right? So
yeah.
I love it. I think that was really good. Both the tight ends look great. Yeah, man, it definitely got me hyped. The difference between last year and this year is like last year you just saw Caleb Williams like arm strength. You're like, oh, that's a quarterback. Whoa, right? This year it looked like he's got like everything's installed. He's just going through it. He knows what to do. And yeah, overall it just looked good. Not to mention the defense, bro. Defense is gonna be nasty this year. Booker, holy smokes. I saw like remember last year when we were on Hard Knocks, not we, but the Bears. So like they highlighted Booker then. I was like, wow, he's really good. And then I think he got injured at some point, and then he just, you didn't really get to see the full rookie season. However, he looked nasty. Dude, I'm stoked. But I feel like I say that every year. I'm like, yeah.
You can literally replay the same episode every year. It's the same freaking news every year.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden everything comes crashing to earth, and you're like, oh. But I think it's different, dude, because another thing I like too is like Ben Johnson. That man was just like,
yeah,
he was just stone faced. Did not even when they scored, he was like, and then till the end he like winked at the like Bill's sideline. He's like, hey, I got your ass.
You could tell he was locked in. There's no doubt about it.
He was, and like that's the thing too, like. And what I like about Ben Johnson, like at the podium, like he calls people out. He has no problem being like, "Yep, Caleb had a rough day." Yeah. This time around, he was like, "No, Caleb's stacked. Like he had multiple like good days, and like the game itself just kind of ended it off on a crescendo." But yeah, man, I just want to hurry up and get to week 1. But it's like this point, like all right, cool. I just want to see like real football, like where it counts, and not have to be like, "Oh, well, it's just preseason," So.
No, same here. I echo the same sentiments that you do, DL. The only thing I'll add to it is there was news that was released today on the Kay Adams pod where she had good old Ben Johnson on, and she asked him point blank, "Are you going to play your starters next week?" And he said yes. He's going to play his starters. He did say yes. They're going to try and get some reps. He did say that he would play them. He did say also barring how practices look, but yes, he's leaning towards yes, he's playing his starters. So just throwing that out there, breaking that news for all those watching.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, in some other news, the Colts named Daniel Jones as the Week 1 starter. So how are you feeling about that? Are we calling him Indiana Jones, or are we calling him Danny Dimes?
I think we're gonna call him Indiana Jones. It's got to be Indiana Jones. It's like set up for him perfectly.
Yeah, I think it's great. I don't know. How would you feel? Because you were pretty high on the quarterback battle out in Indiana.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be Danny Dimes. I thought it was going to be Anthony Richardson. I still believe in Anthony Richardson's talent. I just don't think the guy can stay on the field, number one. I think he's got all the intangibles, but he can't seem to put it together. He reminds me of another quarterback that happens to be playing in New York.
And who would that be?
Former Bears quarterback Justin Fields.
I think Fields is better, bro. I think Fields.
Is he though?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
I did want to just throw that out there. I'm not sure if we could rename it at the top, but
I did. It's just not on my Twitter. For whatever reason, I tried to do it on Twitter. It didn't. But it is. It's actually right. It is talking about RB rankings. I double checked that when it was counting down. So I don't know. Maybe Twitter. Maybe Elon's mad at me.
Maybe.
Also, the roster cut down deadline is approaching. Teams across the league are in the midst of a 53-man roster cut down. The deadline fasting approaching. So that is interesting because sometimes they cut somebody that you're like, wait a second, they cut him and then another team picks him up, maybe a pass rusher. That'd be awesome.
Well, why don't we talk about it? I'm not sure if you got it in the news here, but Trey Hendrickson officially is available. Officially, they are looking to move Trey Hendrickson now. The Bengals are. What do you think about Trey Hendrickson? What teams do you think he could fit on? Do you think he could fit on the Bears?
You know what's funny is like I had this discussion with one of the Wombats today, and they were saying like, would you give up like a first round pick
No.
and like another like random like
Nope.
Yeah, I said no too. I was like, he's like a luxury. Like if we were like at the moment where we were like like the Bills, like we're close to winning a Super Bowl, we just need one more like really good person on
They
X
might be.
area. We're still, man, I want to see him build a little bit more before we like start locking down big names and ugly contracts. That's the way I look at
Okay.
it.
What if I told you a second?
Second
That's
round, yeah. You know what? They were talking about that
That's
today too. He said, "Oh, what about a second?" And blah blah blah. And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, second for sure. Go
Yeah,
for it."
I think I'm there. I think I would do a second round pick. I think I would do a second in a future third, not this coming third, but a future third or a
Yeah,
future second and a future
yeah.
third. They could have that. Honestly, I probably would do 2 years from now or first from 2 years from now because that's basically a second round pick. That's how they see
Yeah.
it in the future. So,
Like I said,
Yeah.
he's a luxury. I would love
Yeah.
like any player that you get all the homers of. Okay, what the Bears could sign him? I think the Bears are going to sign him, and it's like, no, they're probably not. So don't get excited. Just like chill.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. I would be like, oh my god, I would probably, yeah, I would lose my mind if we got him because wow, what to compliment Sweat? Hell yeah, bro.
Now, isn't Austin Booker hurt right now?
Really? I don't think. Did he get
Yeah.
hurt? He got dinged up?
Yep.
Oh, no.
The Bears ruled Austin. But this is per Brad Biggs on Twitter.
Okay.
The Bears ruled DN Austin Booker out for the remainder of the game. He has a knee injury, and then
no.
Dominique Robinson also got injured. He had an ankle injury.
Fuck.
So that's
We're stuck again. I was kidding.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, hopefully they can come back by week 1. It's 2 weeks with a knee injury. I don't know about that. That's pretty quick. Damn. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. I mean,
the only thing that sucks about like preseason or even like training camp, because everyone's like, we don't want our players to get injured in preseason game, but like during practices, they're flying around too. It's not like they're just like jogging and slow down. It's like hit them hard. So it sucks. But yeah, man, next guy up. I mean, that's a pretty big blow. I think Jalen Johnson should be back by week 1. I think that was a thing I heard on the hubbub. But yeah, let's kick it over to the phony homies. The Bears. What do you think? What's our record? Well, let me ask you first, and then we'll kick it to the phony homies. What do you think the Bears' record is going to be this year?
Oh man,
I know. I hate this question, right?
oh boy, I think. Well, they play 17 games now, right? So
yeah, all 17.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go 10-7.
Okay. Wow. I like that too. Maybe a little bit more like like 8 games, 8 and 9 right in there. I feel pretty confident.
Let me throw this at you. I'm not I don't want to ever wish injury on anybody. I think Caleb could be so good, especially because what his crazy talents are is when a game breaks down, when the game breaks down, he can take over. And also last year, how many times at the end of games was he marching and we just blew it?
Yeah, literally, I was thinking that as you were talking. I was like, yeah, but there was like games that were like winnable, but like
it wasn't Caleb's fault.
Flus like fucked it.
Bad management. Yeah, bad time management. Bad play calling, whatever the hell the case was. Caleb still got it. Just instinctually, the guy has it. He's got to be one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks instinctually at the end of games, But I'll say this: I think Ben Johnson is the truth. I think I've seen enough now. They had over 500 offensive yards in that game.
500 and like what? 528,
60 something, 560 something.
It was
Tyson Agent. Did you see Tyson?
Dude,
he looked good.
He is him. I mean, like I was, because you always think like, okay, well, like a backup quarterback, right? Like, well, we want someone who's a vet and blah blah blah. And he made me say like, nah, we don't need a vet because this dude's got it. And like,
what would you trade him for?
Tyson?
Yeah, if somebody came knocking and said, "Hey, we'll give you a 3rd-round pick," would you trade him?
And we have Josh Daniels? No,
No, we have Case Keenum.
that's who it is.
He's not bad. He could win you a few games, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't think he's as good as Bateman anymore.
my thing is that like your backup, like I want them to like be able to like run the offense just as good, maybe like
Yeah.
a slight tier down, but can like still. Nothing sucks more, especially being a Bears fan, is when the back. Well, I take that back because the whole Kyle Orton, Rex Grossman like debate way back when, where the backup looked better than the starter. I'd rather have that feeling than like, oh shit, here comes Case Keenum, please Jesus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although Case Keenum, he did okay in Minnesota, so shit.
It's better than Chase Daniel, I'll tell you that, when we had him, or half the freaking backup quarterbacks we've had.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who is like the worst back where I was just like where I turned off a game. There's been a couple of games where the backup came in and I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm not watching this. I'm not gonna. This is bullshit.
Who's the guy we had? Cool. Henry Burris was horrible.
Oh god.
Henry Burris was terrible. Caleb Haney. I mean, he was decent in a playoff game, but he was not any good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think out loud.
I remember all like the good ones, like Josh McDowell's. He was awesome.
That was a good one. McCown was good. Kyle Orton was good.
Kyle Orton was good. So those are only 2 that really stand out. Where I was like,
Chris Chandler, Jim Miller.
Damn, dude, you're going way back when.
Yeah. No, man.
I thought I was like going too far.
Yeah, no. All right, that's enough of the Bears. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's time to go to the news.
We just did the news.
No, there's a lot of news.
Oh, you got more news?
No, I thought you had news.
No, I don't have news. Just did news.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, this is going great. All right, yeah. With that said, we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll go to our rankings.
That's why everybody's here. All right. Let's go to our rankings. You want me to pop it up right away?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and get started with the rankings. Let's start from the bottom up, if we could, please. Good sir?
Sure. Let me just start sharing. Hopefully it is.
Now, these rankings are a combined rankings between Dustin and myself.
Yeah, we thought it might be a little too boring if we, started.
Yeah, if we did individual rankings, that would suck.
Yeah.
But being able to take Dustin's rankings and my rankings, we were able to compile this list. We'll start at 65. We'll start with one of the best and probably the best lottery ticket in all of football, Isaac Guerendo at 65. I like him. I'm not sure if you guys knew his girlfriend does OnlyFans. But continuing on.
Whoa, really?
We have Guerendo. He got to the right, by the way, if you don't see it here, it's bye weeks. So if you're curious what those numbers mean, it's their bye weeks.
So bye week 14. Bye week. Gotcha.
Yep. All right. Next guy we'll go with Jaquez Wright. And continuing on, DL, I'll let you take a few of these.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Rico Dowdle. Strong looking dude. We're going to go with him at number 63. I do like his chances a little bit. We saw him do really well in Dallas. I think he's going to have a little bit more of like a committee style, but I feel like he's kind of like a sneaky like stash, right? Where you could actually put him on your bench. And wow, it's showing that you can put him on your bench and hope for the best, really. Keaton Mitchell, Kendra Miller. I don't know, man.
I'll give you some more. Yeah,
Sean
Tucker. He's just a guy. He had a good stretch of games last year. These are guys really that you want to get as handcuffs or guys in case of injury, guys that you want to roster in really heavy, deep leagues. I think Guerendo, though, is a guy that should be rostered just because we know of McCaffrey's injury history and because Jordan Mason no longer plays for the 49ers. Continuing on, we have Dameon Pierce, highly touted guy last year. Didn't really play that well last year, but coming in looking decent. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, like, it kind of stinks a little bit because, Dameon Pierce, like, I remember, 2 years ago, like, he was the guy. Like, remember, like, I think I drafted him over, and I was like, yeah, and then he just never really got it going. Like, I don't know. So it's weird. Like some of these names, like when we were going through this, I was like, oh my gosh,
I know some of them are crazy, and some of them we have a surprise later. But continuing on, we got Woody Marks. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I don't know a whole lot about Woody. I just know that he
Woody.
played at USC. The guy is pretty strong. I know he's a pretty strong guy, 5'10", but I can't say I know too much about Woody. Not a guy that I'm looking to draft. Continuing on, we have Chris Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez. He
So
looked good. I'm not
I'm
sure if
just
you got a
gonna,
chance to see him.
I'm just gonna interrupt a little bit here. So these guys that we're going through, 65 through 57, these are like your very last picks, and you're just kind of like,
Yeah,
oh, I'll take a
absolutely.
shot.
Handcuffs,
Um,
backups. Yeah.
Nobody that
Guys,
you're like gunning
guys who will
for.
factor in later on
Okay.
in the year.
Just making
Well, it
sure.
depends. It depends. I like to try to give people too much information rather than not enough. Our rankings are based on 12-man leagues. Some people are in 14, 16, 20, 30 team leagues, whatever it is. But these are just some ranks that we're giving. In actuality, these are just guys that I think are going to make an impact this year. That's what I think, and that's why we ranked them this way.
Okay.
Next guy we got is Roschon Johnson, followed by Ollie Gordon. Now, let's be real. Roschon, I don't even know what he's going to do. He hasn't touched the field yet for the Bears.
Yeah, that's a crazy one because he looked really good last year. He's definitely like a wrecking ball type of running back.
Yep.
He did complement Swift, but then don't forget the Bears drafted a new running back, so maybe they weren't too excited in the beginning about him, but we'll see how that kind of shakes out throughout the year.
Yep. He was still a non-participant in practice last week as far as going into Thursday. He's got a foot issue, and that's what the concern is right now with Roschon. But he did have a hand fracture in 2023. The guy is just constantly hurt. We'll see what happens. He hasn't practiced all summer. Continuing on, we have Ollie Gordon II. Then we follow that up with Will Shipley. And again, these are just guys. These are just Jags, okay? Just a guy. Nothing
just a
crazy.
guy.
But these guys can give you flex appeal, barring injury. Some of them, could be, good flex guys. Just guys to handcuff with the premier running backs in the leagues. But we followed that up with
like
Dylan Sampson.
What do you like a little flyer, right? Like you might I feel like he might bust out because especially like face it, like Christian McCaffrey, Mr. Glass, as I like to call him, at some point he's going to get injured. So if you want to take a shot this year and see what you can do with Christian McCaffrey, good luck, but I would definitely grab obviously the handcuff there. I mean, last year, Christian McCaffrey, who didn't play a full season, still rushed for 1,062 yards. He was averaging about 13 points per game, which is good, but he was like the RB1 last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like you definitely need a handcuff for him. And we'll talk about a couple others as we continue on.
Of all these guys, I think the only guy that I'm looking to legitimately target, is Garendo. I think he's got league-winning appeal, genuinely. If McCaffrey goes down, the guy could be legitimate RB2 immediately with RB1 upside. That's how good he was.
You would look like a genius. You would honestly look like a genius because you're like that. Mm-hmm. Not only that, if you do get him, and let's say somebody else grab Christian McCaffrey, that's going to be a huge trade aspect, right? You could, as you say, make $1 out of 50 cents or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
you're gonna make $1 out of freaking nothing,
Exactly, honestly, because I guarantee that manager is going to be like, "Oh shit, there you go."
Yep. Okay. Yep. Exactly. All right. Continuing on, like I said, we got Will Shipley, who could scroll up a little bit.
Oh, I forgot I'm on this. Okay.
Yeah, all right. And then now, as we get into the top 50 or so, then we get into some names that I am interested in. I know it sounds crazy.
I can actually talk about. Okay.
But if we do the math, there's 12 teams in most leagues. Let's just go off of the 12-team league. Every team has 2 running backs. That's 24 guys that are gone. Usually, most teams roster 4 guys. Let's be real. So that puts us at somewhere in the 40s. So, these are guys that are going to be on rosters. These are guys who I think are going to make a difference. We'll go to the next guy after Will Shipley, Dylan Sampson. Okay, I think Dylan Sampson is going to be the number 3 in Cleveland. There's reports that he's the number 2. The whole situation in Cleveland is a mess. I think Jerome Ford is going to win out that position. But, yeah, that's another guy that's available, another guy that has looked good in the preseason, another guy that has been getting a lot of rave reviews, but not a guy that I think I'm drafting. I think I'm drafting, another guy that plays for the Browns. Continuing on, Ray Davis. He had a lot of flashes last year, when he got his touches. And I think Ray Davis is going to be another guy that will get some flex appeal throughout the season, DL. Your thoughts? Any thoughts on Ray Davis, Dylan Sampson?
No.
Okay. Now I'm going to let you take the next one, DL.
Sure. Bashula Tootin.
Oh my God! Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, yes. I know. You know what? I knew it. I practiced this morning.
This is a guy I wanted the Bears to take, DL.
Yeah. His bye week is number 7. That's I know that.
He plays for the Jags.
Yeah, but it's like it's still good to have them because you never know. Like these are like especially rookies, because all of a sudden out of nowhere someone gets injured, or all of a sudden they like put him in for a series and he just goes off. You're gonna be the smartest guy in the room, especially in deep leagues. Like all these names that you're listing right now. I'm like, okay, I'm saving this list because when I draft in my 14-man league, these might be some really, really good guys I can get on the cheap side, especially because that league does a little bit of an auction as well too. So you're gonna find these guys like $2, $1, really easy to grab, throw them on your bench, or you could just wait and then snag them after your draft as well too, as backups. Because especially in deeper leagues, obviously like draft is everything. Like you're not gonna get like crazy waiver wires, like I don't know, like.
So I'll say this, DL. Tootin has been impressing a ton. I follow a lot of beat writers. I always suggest for you phony homies out there, follow the beat writers. Look up the beat writers for every NFL team. Follow one or two of them, because they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you the news that no one else is listening to, no one else is hearing. They're going to give it to you first. He has been impressing in training camp. And to be honest with you, he looked really good in the last preseason game. He got a touchdown in the preseason. And he pulled in 2 catches for 16 yards as well. The guy can do a little bit of everything. A guy that I wanted the Bears to draft, as I said earlier, super explosive, very, very fast. A shorter player for sure. But let's be real, okay? Etienne played nearly 50% of Jacksonville's snaps, okay, last year. And Tank Bigsby tried to take over the backfield last year. Wasn't the greatest. He kind of failed. There's a reason why they draft Tootin. Okay, they drafted him because they don't really know what they got in Etienne and Bigsby. Okay, I liked Bigsby going into the season last year, but I think this job's up for grabs. Okay, I really do.
Oh, I agree with that.
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, and to be honest, like if we go back in the time machine, right? I mean, Travis Etienne was okay, but he got injured really quickly, right? And then Tank Bigsby last year. I mean,
he had 4 fumbles in under 200 carries,
and he only had 612 yards, right? So, to me, if I'm thinking about that, like even when Etienne went down, like his numbers didn't go up that high, right? And then you got to remember too, who's the quarterback? Didn't they get a new OC as well? If I'm not mistaken, or am I?
They got a new head coach, Liam Cohen, the creepy guy. Duval, and then he made like the weird smile, a weird ass smile.
Yeah, he's weird.
Yeah, he's weird.
I like honestly like I trust him. I don't think he's gonna be too crazy. But anytime there's like a regime change or like coaching change, like some things take depends on how they're gonna use him moving forward, right? You don't know. I mean, is this gonna be possibly a like committee? Like, are they going to do all 3? Are they going to lean more heavy on Etienne? I mean,
I think they'll lean on Etienne because he's good. I think the guy's actually good, and I think Bigsby's more of a short yardage back, kind of like a better Roschon Johnson, a battering ram of sorts in the goal line. But I think Tootin he's a combination. I think he could do a little bit of both. The guy's electric. Okay, he's crazy fast, and the reason why they drafted him is because they're looking for a compliment. Let's call it what it is. Liam Cohen is great at scheming up runs. If you know anything about Liam Cohen, that is what he does. This is going to be a team that runs the ball 30 times a game. No question. And I think all these guys are going to get in the mix. And as the season progresses, there's going to be 2 guys. The cream rises to the crop. I expect it to be Etienne and Tootin. And I think he's going to have some appeal as the season goes on. If for any reason Etienne, who's been hurt, okay, an injury-plagued career he's had so far, if Etienne gets hurt, Tootin, RB2 immediately.
Yeah, and not only that, like I'm just like I know last week we had a comment that we weren't providing stats, so I'm trying to work that in a little bit more. Like I mentioned, Tank Bigsby ran for 612 yards total last year. Etienne ran 577 yards last year, right? So it's about close to almost 100 yards difference, maybe. But that just goes to show you, like, yeah, they need a guy who has a little bit more juice, right? A little bit more in the tank to like really like take him to that next level, right? And you're absolutely right. That's one thing where I'm kind of staying away from Etienne is because yeah, he's very injury prone. Running back is one of those things where depending on how you're drafting, like, are you someone who drafts like hero RB, zero RB? Like, how do you attack the draft in the first like 3 rounds?
Yeah, it's a good question, and we'll get in more into that as the season progresses as we get closer to draft day. But I think it depends on what kind of. I think an important thing that we don't really talk about enough is knowing your league mates. Know what your league mates are doing. I think know what your league mates do in a draft. I'll give you an example. I just had a draft this past weekend, and
dang, that's early. Okay.
Yeah, and everyone before me drafted quarterbacks already, so I just waited, and I knew I could wait because the 8 guys before me already had a quarterback. So when the back half of guys would go, I would kind of be leery. I didn't know what was going to happen with quarterback, but the moment I get past the back end of the draft and I was getting back to the front of the snake draft, I knew I don't have to get a quarterback yet. I can take another position. So know that. Know your league mates a lot. Know who they like. Yeah, know if they're homers. Yeah, know their allegiances. Know who they're fans of because that's going to make a big difference. And also, I guess if you're asking for nuts and bolts actual strategy, this year I think is the year of the running back. I think there's a lot of scarcity at running back as always, but this year more than ever, I think you want to walk away from the first 2 rounds with a running back. You have to.
And we'll get into it too because there's a certain team that literally I heard is like they're all like committee. There's like 3 guys, and I do not want any part of that. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So we're moving on. We talked Jacoby Korski Merritt.
Oh no, we still got Jaden Blue, who was hurt. He came down with an injury, but he I see the recent reports show that he's okay. He's completely fine, and he's back ready to go.
What did he have?
He had if I'm not mistaken, he had an ankle. I can tell you that in a moment.
Sorry.
It's okay. No worries. So Jaden Blue, he was hurt, but he's in full pads today. So he's fine.
Awesome.
He's completely fine. Continuing on, another guy, DL, Jacory Krosky Merritt, also known affectionately as Bill, looked really, really. I know. Don't ask me. He said it himself. He wants to be called Bill. Has looked really, really good in preseason. This last game, last night, he played Monday night for the Commanders. He looked great. He looked explosive. Looked fast.
That's who it was.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember his name. Now I know it's Bill. Yeah, Bill. I'm really high on him. Really
JCM.
high on him.
My brother from another mother, JCM over here. Looked good. I think he's going to be moving up draft boards. I think we might be a little low on him, to be honest. Here's the news, okay? Here's the news. Brian Robinson Jr., 50 Cent, he got shot a bunch of times into the draft last year. They're saying that they're going to either find a trade partner for him, a mutual trade partner, or release him outright. So that means that they're fighting right now in Washington for a backup running back. Is it going to be JCM, Bill, or is it going to be Austin Eckler, the old, washed Austin Eckler? I think it's going to be JCM, man. I really do.
Yeah, because I mean, and you got to think of with Eckler, he had so many concussions as well too, and like even last year, like I know a lot of people drafted him because they're like, okay, like because Brian Robinson Jr. is like really like he's really good in PPR formats, right? Because he's more of that like he can catch the ball and he's not like a ground and pound kind of guy, right? So yeah, Austin Eckler was like the next one up, and then he got knocked out. He just got like injured after injury. Like that's the hardest part about this position is that because they're getting the crap like literally smacked out of them game after game after game. So that's another thing too. You want you definitely want somebody. Obviously, we'll get to the top 10, which you're a little bit more like, okay, these guys are pretty healthy. They're tried and true. But having that backup where you can just like stick them in case something goes bad, who can give you that, like, obviously volume is going to be huge. So, yeah, Brian Robinson did not have his best year last year. I had him on a few of my leagues, and, he was very touchdown dependent. Like, he wasn't like bringing in the yards, and I even had him in PPR, and he really wasn't even getting targeted there, because I feel like Jaden Daniels like took away a lot of his production because he's just like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna run.
that's the number one running back on that team. And here I got a quote here from Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Commanders.
Sure.
After the game on Monday, Commanders coach Dan Quinn said that both he and GM Adam Peters spoke with Brian Robinson on Sunday afternoon, and there are a lot of moving parts to the situation. Quinn also said that he met with the team on Sunday night to explain the situation. Quinn said he always wants the players to hear things first from him. Regardless of where the moving parts will go, the signs are clearly pointing towards the Commanders and Brian Robinson moving on. News like this isn't always easy, Quinn said, regarding the conversation with Brian Robinson. The real reason here is Brian Robinson's at the end of his rookie deal. They're going to move on from him. They're not going to bring him in next year. Jaden Daniels is the top running back on that team. Let's be real. Wouldn't surprise me if the guy ran for close to 1,000 yards. But the truth here is it's going to be a split, because after Brian Robinson is gone, which he will be, it's going to be Eckler, it's going to be Chris Rodriguez, who we already had ranked, and it's going to be Bill. So of all those three, I think the most explosive guy is Bill.
Yeah, and if we're looking at just the numbers last year, like Brian Robinson ran for 799 yards on 187 attempts. So he was getting about 4.3 per carry, which you're like, whoa,
that's pretty good. Pretty good,
right?
Yeah.
Rushing touchdowns, he had a total of 8, not bad. Receptions, 20 catches for 159 yards. He did not get a receiving touchdown, which, I mean, that's fine. He's a running back.
He's solid. I'm going to be honest with you. He'd be the second best running back on the Bears today, immediately.
Oh, yeah. But the way that they had him kind of like schemed, like he was definitely more like an H-An. Like that, I think that's what they were kind of hoping for. Like he would be like that guy who can like have these bursts, catch the ball, and like go after.
I think that's not. I think he's more like a David Montgomery type. That's how I see Brian Robinson.
Really,
kind of like a bruiser, kind of like a bigger guy.
Brian Robinson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you his height. He's 6'1", 228. He's a big boy.
Okay.
6 foot running backs, big boys. Usually they're 5'9", 5'11". He's 6'1". He's a big boy. Kind of a bruiser, kind of a David Montgomery kind of guy. But he took so long coming back from the offseason getting shot. It's not that he's bad. That's not the point.
He's not bad.
The contract. That's it. The contract.
Yeah, because I mean, why would you? You don't need to give him that option. Like you said, they just drafted Bill, who's looking good. So why not save some money, especially if you're still trying to sign Scary Terry, right?
Yeah,
that has not gone away, which is crazy to me. Like, just sign him. Like, what are you doing? Like, why don't just get that man?
Piss off your quarterback. Yeah.
Not only that man has been on that team waiting, and he hasn't said anything. He's always been positive, and he's always been like, all right, cool. It's like he paid his dues, and now, like, the Commanders are, I mean, they're not the laughing stock anymore, right? They're actually a legit team. They made the playoffs last year with a rookie quarterback. He's awesome. Not saying like it was just a fluke, but yeah, pay the man. Anyways, moving on to running backs, because that's why people are here.
Continuing on, we have
this is sad.
I'll let you take it from here. Yeah.
Nick Chubb. I mean, what really stinks about Nick Chubb is that, like, he was what, top five running back, I would say, in the last 2 years. Maybe not last year. Yeah, for a while. And like, where you were like debating, like, maybe I'll go with Nick Chubb. I'll go with him. And he's just, ever since his grotesque injury last year, like, that was nasty, dude. He just hasn't really been the same. Things coming out of camp as well too is that he just doesn't have he's like a little slow. He's not as fast as he once was. He's not really like moving like he used to. So I'm really, really concerned about that. I mean,
So let me jump in.
go ahead.
So I
Go
think
for
Nick Chubb is going to be the lead back for the Texans,
it.
and
Ooh, I like that take. I like that take a lot.
because he's the lead back. Joe Mixon's hurt, okay, and there's a report today that Joe Mixon's going to be playing through injury, and
He started off, didn't he?
let me look at where we got. Let me look at where we got Joe, because I love me some Joe Mixon. We have him at 25. I think we're going to knock him down, and I think
because he really hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I think we're going to be screwed here because they're saying he's going to have to play through pain the whole year.
Mixon?
And yeah, he has done that. And Joe's a tough SOB. But I fully expect Joe Mixon to miss some time throughout the season. I really do. And because of that, I think it's going to be Nick Chubb's job. He's going to be the top running back atop of that depth chart.
What about
if I'm being honest, go ahead.
Rest of season rankings, where do you think Chubb will land? Like,
I think he can finish in the top 40. I think, and that's pretty damn good. You know, for a guy you're going to get super late in the draft, I think that's pretty damn good. And now's the time to pounce. It wouldn't surprise me if Dameon Pierce supplants him, but Chubb's going to be way better in the passing scheme, like blocking for the quarterback. Chubb's going to be a better pass catcher than Dameon Pierce ever could. Dameon Pierce got two left feet for hands. It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
You know, I'm not too concerned about Pierce. I'm not concerned about Dare Ogunbowale. You know, then you have Woody Marks, a guy who might jump into the number 2 role.
I've heard some good things about him. I actually have heard a couple of people say that he may surpass everyone and be the guy. That's what I heard. But
yeah, I heard it too. But like I said, I just think Chubb's going to get the opportunities. What he's going to do with it, I don't know. But what's fantasy football? It's a game of opportunity. Are you going to get the chances? Are you going to get the touches? That's half of the game, and Chubb's going to get that. I think I think we should move him up to the 40th above some of these other guys. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna still keep him where he's at, just because like there hasn't been like a lot of glowing reviews, even in like training camp. Forget like preseason game. I'm talking like straight up like just practice. Like I follow some of the beat reporters because I took your advice, and nothing good. And when nothing good's coming out, it doesn't all of a sudden like change within week 1 of the regular season. All of a sudden, oh, just kidding, he's good again. So I agree to some respects what you're saying. Like, yeah, I think he could be the starter, but I would be, he's definitely like, I would draft him late. Like I would not be like targeting him. I would let him just kind of fall to you if you could get him at like a good ADP, if you will. I think where we have him at 48, you're going to have some value there. So
that injury was brutal. It was so brutal, that Nick Chubb injury.
It's because he was.
It was one bad injury after another bad injury for him.
And he came back. Like I remember the year. What was it? The year before, or maybe 2 years before. Like he messed up the same knee that he messed up
in college, bro. He wrecked his knee in college, going out of bounds.
And then he came back for the Browns, and he was like, "You're like, whoa, okay." It was like Adrian Peterson. Remember, that was like, "Oh, he's done. He's never going to be good." And then all of a sudden, he was like right back at it. So that one hurt a little bit. I was just like, "Oh man, Nick Chubb's so good. I forgot about him." Anyways, we got to move on. So we got Jerome Ford. Still the Browns, correct? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, 47. I think we saw like bits and pieces of him last year. He definitely is a downhill runner. I think that he's definitely a guy that he's going to probably start off on your bench, but he's definitely going to start getting into more and more games as you move forward.
He's the number one. He's the number one. Dylan Sampson's the number 2 behind him. And the real news here, DL, is who's quarterback. The Browns came out and said Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback. And I think that bodes well for the running game because Joe Flacco dumps the ball off. Joe Flacco runs a legitimate NFL offense. Joe Flacco pushes the ball downfield, which opens up the running game. I think Jerome Ford, I could see Jerome Ford be a top 35 running back when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, he's ranked like 53 in ADP. The only thing that kind of makes me a little bit cautious just with him, obviously, like Ford was ruled out week 18 against the Ravens last year due to an ankle injury and ended up on IR, which, whatever, that was last year. Who cares? During training camp this preseason, he was limited by minor undisclosed injuries and missed some practices, but I think he'll be okay. The only thing else is that Ford has not participated in any of the preseason games thus far. That was against the Panthers and the Eagles. And then you have Quinton Quinshon Judkins.
Quinshon Judkins.
He still is on sign. Ford remains Cleveland's de facto RB1. So I do like that. He actually took a pay cut too. He agreed.
I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good. I don't know.
You don't
he took
think
a pay
that's good?
cut. So here we go. Jerome Ford got re-signed by Cleveland last year. He took a pay cut for the 2025 season, reducing his salary from $3.48 million to $1.75 million. And then the Browns drafted rookies Quinshon Judkins in the second round and Samson in the fourth. I think they knew that they needed to do something about the running back position, and Jerome came back for next to nothing, for peanuts. So Jerome's going to be running angry, but I think the future's in the rearview mirror here. I think the future's coming for him. So I like Jerome Ford. I think he's a good late-round flyer. I think you should definitely draft Dylan Sampson, and I'm a little concerned about Quinshon Judkins, if I'm being honest. I'm a little concerned. I'm more than a little concerned. We have him ranked in 35, but he hasn't played. I think he's a guy who's going to factor in mid to late season, not early.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Cleveland's always a dumpster fire, bro. Like, it's crazy. You just all of a sudden they get ahead, and then all of a sudden they screw themselves over again and again and again. So, I mean, I'm hoping for the best. But yeah, I mean, I would once again. Not super excited about Jerome Ford. Obviously that's why we have him ranked a little bit lower. The next guy we're going to talk about is Trey Benson, right? So we have Trey Benson actually at 46 with our combined rankings. Last year he played 13 games. He had 63 attempts, 291 yards. He averaged about 4.6 per carry, which is good. Only one TD. Obviously, James Conner is going to get majority of the workload, but even James Conner said himself, he views Trey Benson and himself as RB1s.
Oh,
so
yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
So that's I was just like, oh, okay, that definitely put up my antenna.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't see anything from him last year. That James Conner was a better running back last year. He was better.
Yeah. He was just kind of like, okay, here's Trey Benson. James Conner, we hope you get back real soon. It was like one of those. And honestly, James Conner, he was injured, and he had a pretty good year last year. So, anyways, he's okay, I guess. I'm too excited. There was something that stood out to me that I thought was really. Honestly, I really feel like it was just the fact that James Conner said that they're both RB1s. So I don't know if that was just kind of like to pump them up or what have you. But yeah, this might be a really good handcuff if you are getting James Conner. Why not? Really, when I think of Arizona, the only weapons I really see is, Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, right? That's kind of like their name of the game. Although they were running a lot more last year. So yeah, I feel like 46 is a good spot where he's at. I don't know. That's all I got.
I know. I'm with you. I didn't see enough. To. I'm staying away.
You excited?
I don't really want any Trey Benson. Yeah, no. Next guy we have Tank Bigsby. Not really interested. Kind of staying away. Goal line back. Just a guy.
We kind of talked
guy that
about
I am excited for. Yeah, nah.
Go ahead.
A guy that I am excited for is Cam Skattebo. Your thoughts, Neil, on Cam Skattebo? I heard, bro. I'll say this. I heard he's looked crazy electric in training camp.
Yeah,
Where
I
you at
mean,
on him?
the only thing is, I thought he was injured. No, didn't they say that? Didn't he get an
Let me
injury?
see.
Or am I? I'm searching too. So, let's see. Okay, blah blah blah.
I don't see
So
that.
he was sidelined early in training camp with a hamstring injury, missing the first 2 preseason games. He returned to practice on August 19th, making him a full participant in preseason. His performance in the final preseason appearance could determine whether he surpasses Singletary. Okay, I'm on. As soon as I saw the name Singletary, like, yep, he's him. That would be that's definitely one of the rookies that's like one up there. Like, so I was doing like the rookie rankings as well too. There's another guy that we're going to be talking about very, very soon, that I'm like really, really excited about. He's my guy this year. But I know in his college, like he was like, I mean, he was a standout. He ran for 1,711 yards, rushed for 21 touchdowns. I want to let that sink in. 21. I mean, a good year for any running back I would say, what, like 10? Like 8? Right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Plus, he had 45 receptions for 605 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. This guy, I feel, is like this is a good pickup. If you can grab him, and hopefully everyone's kind of like, they're like, oh yeah, I've heard his name, because he did blow up quite a bit. I think some people did actually shy away from him just because of the injury, like myself. But yeah, I would say he's definitely a high upside flex RB3 for the rest of the season. That's the way I would kind of go with it.
Okay. Yeah. And just looking at the depth chart here for the Giants and what they released on their website directly, they have Tyrone Tracy as the number 1, Devin Singletary as the number 2, and then Scatterboo at number 3. I think Scatterboo will supplant Singletary easily. Tyrone Tracy is a little harder. I liked what I see out of Tyrone, but just with touches, here's what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to give the book, because Singletary is like 5'8". Okay, he's a small guy. Tracy, really good from between the lines, outside, a zone runner.
He saved me last year with my 14-man league for sure.
Well, I think Scatterboo will be a guy that gets goal line carries, and that alone is reason enough to roster Scatterboo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Continuing on, we have Tyjae Spears, who, if I'm not mistaken, recently got hurt.
Yeah, he suffered a high ankle sprain during the preseason opener against the Buccaneers and will miss the remainder of preseason. They said the timeline for his return is like 4 to 6 weeks, likely pushing him to return past week 1.
Yeah, just a flyer.
Which is really good for Tony. Wow. I'm blanking on his name. Tony Pollard.
Don't show them. Wow. Don't show them our rankings, you scum.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was going for the name. So yeah, I mean, whatever. He really, like, just when you think he's like he's flashed a lot, you're like, okay, here we go, and then bam, he gets injured every year. Even last year, same thing. Like, I remember the debates, like, oh, are we going with Tyjae Spears or Tony Pollard? And there was like, Tyjae's looking good, he's surpassing him, blah blah blah, but he just can't stay healthy. So yeah, that's my take.
Okay, where are you at on Rachaad White?
Rachaad White, oh man, it just stinks because honestly, Bucky Irving, I think, is the guy. I mean, last year they both really had like some really great like time. I would say like they split very well, and when Rachaad White was in, he was really good. The year before, he was kind of but he is dealing with like a groin injury. He suffered it during the preseason opener against the Titans. Was ruled out before exiting the game. Todd Bowles latest classified him as day-to-day. So not good, especially if you're drafting, right? Honestly, I think Bucky Irving is going to be the guy. So yeah, he did actually return today. White was returned to the team practice. However, He's unlikely to play in the preseason against the Bills. Who cares? But yeah, I would say he's a RB2 and a handcuff at this point to the rookie Bucky Irving. So
yeah, I think Bucky. Well, he's not a rookie anymore, but I think Bucky way better, just way better. Rashad's good. I think he's talented. I think he can do a little bit of everything, but Bucky's just better entirely.
Yeah, and he's kind of similar to Brian Robinson. Like his contract's up. There's trade rumors going around. There has been speculation of a possible trade due to his expiring rookie contract and the crowded backfield. Although no deal has materialized. I think he's got a low ceiling. I think he's got a high upside. In the case of injury, White is projected to be like RB3 flex. So,
okay, cool. We'll go Najee Harris, a guy who underwhelming, not super good, not the biggest fan of him. Najee Harris, if I'm not mistaken, Najee Harris got hurt. I'm not mistaken, or did he play this past game? Just looking real quick.
There he is.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Good old Najee. Look, he's recovering from an injury, but it looks like he hasn't been that good in his recovery process. So he has not been on pace that suggests that he'll be ready for week 1. What I'm reading.
Yeah, and like let's be honest. I mean, he had a really phenomenal, I would say, great
early start to his career, and not so much anymore.
And then it just went down. And like he was on the Steelers, and like, it's not like he was on like some bum team and like they just didn't use him right. And then he was dealing with plantar fasciitis. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, I mean, definitely cautious, right? Definitely be a little bit cautious on him. Yeah. Once again, it sucks. Like this is the hard part about like doing this show is because like all these guys are like, I don't really care. But at the same time, you got to have.
He's a backup. Yeah. He's a backup, and we'll tell you who he's backup to shortly. Let's go ahead and fly through some of these. We got Tyler Algier, guy who's shown he could be a legit RB2 if he gets the touches. Good lottery ticket guy. If for any reason Bijan goes down, Algier can be a league winner. Zach Charbonnet, another guy that's been impressing tremendously in training camp, a guy that I want to get a few shares of in fantasy, simply because their offensive coordinator is a big runner. He runs the ball a ton, and I want some of that team.
And let's be honest, Walker, he's been kind of injury, he's gotten injured. I don't think he's played a full season. Also, the only thing
Clint Kubiak. I'm sorry, the name escaped me. Clint Kubiak is the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. My bad.
The only thing that kind of makes me hesitant on both the running backs in Seattle is that O-line sucks. And you and I both know if your O-line sucks, your team sucks, right? Like we've been in O-line hell for since 2005. So that makes me hesitant, but I see what you're saying. Like if Walker goes down, Charbonnet actually did really well last year. So
I think they're going to use both. And I don't know if you know this now, Sam Darnold is there. They looked really good in preseason. They looked really, really good in preseason, that offense. I think Sam Darnold's a little better than people give him credit for. We'll jump to Eckler. I'm not too hyped on Eckler. I'm kind of ready to move on.
Yeah, he's kind of long in the tooth.
He's ranked here just because he's going to get opportunity, but I don't think he'll be the lead that long. We have Etienne at 37. I think a little lower than consensus. Yeah, we talked about him. I think he's a few years removed from 1,000-yard rusher. I think he has the talent. He just can't stay on the field. That's really it.
Let's talk about Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah. So Ramondre is an interesting guy. Ramondre is still playing in New England, and he's still a guy who's going to get a ton of touches. A guy, just an opportunity. He did practice with a non-contact injury jersey, so
yeah, he's kind of dealing some stuff. He's questionable. Vrabel there's like a spider like sorry about that. So anyways, Verbal was
Vrabel.
not really like he was not really talking about his injury too. He wasn't like really saying anything this or that about it. The thing that bothers me the most about Ramondre is that he fumbled the ball 7 times in last year. Like that's not good at all, right? And I can't wait anymore. I'm gonna talk about this man right here. We're gonna talk about Trayvon Henderson. Okay. Won't go into too much detail because I don't want to blow up the ranking.
Wait, why are we talking about Trey? Why did we just jump up like 50 spots?
Because I think Trayvon, honestly, Trayvon's going to be the guy.
We haven't even talked about Judkins or Mason.
No, I'm just showing him. You got to pay attention to what I'm saying. I think Ramondre Stevenson is not the guy. His value now hinges on his ability to correct his fumbling issue, and he hasn't done that, right? I mean, he's a solid RB2. I'll give you that. He's got some upside. They got a new coach, which is the Patriot way. So I think he would be a bench guy. But, yeah, I'm not 100% excited about him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a committee running back situation there. I think Ramondre is a flex guy. Yeah, and I think the guy we're going to talk about in a little bit is going to take his job before the end of the year. Let's talk really quickly about Quinshon Judkins, and I have some information here for you. So Judkins still has not been signed, as you said earlier. I wanted to give you some information on guys who haven't been signed going into the season and how they have done. So other holdouts that held out training camp have underwhelmed going into the season, and here are some recent examples. Okay, Le'Veon Bell in 2018 for the Steelers. The Steelers used the franchise tag on Bell for the second time in a row going into 2018, and we remember that Le'Veon Bell underperformed. He signed a deal, and he refused to sign the franchise tag, unfortunately, at the time. What happened for Le'Veon Bell is he had a poor season in 2018. Another guy that held out coming out of training camp or going into the regular season is Melvin Gordon with the Chargers in 2019. Gordon was the lead back for the Chargers before his 5th-year option in his contract. He went on to hold out all of training camp and the preseason and the first 3 games of the regular season before reporting to the team without a new deal. He ended up averaging only 3.7 yards per carry and missed 4 games. When asked directly if he would have done things differently, he said he probably would have, and he would have come back sooner. He had another poor season as well. I'll give you one more guy who had a poor season. Okay. Now, Quinshon is super, super, super talented, but the history is going to repeat itself, I feel, going into this year. Josh Jacobs in 2023, DL. Josh Jacobs, okay. He had a huge season in 2022. Going into 2023, he held out during training camp and the preseason. It took several weeks for Jacobs to find his legs, and even then, he never really got going. And then injuries derailed his season. He had only 13 games where he played. He did not have a 100-yard rushing game until week 10, and only had 2 100-yard rushing games an entire season. Look, history is against guys who hold out. You have to get hit. You have to feel that. You have to get a lather. You have to warm up. You have to work out before you get into actual NFL games. If you do not do that, DL, I think what will happen is these guys will get hurt. They will not perform well. They're not going to have their legs underneath them. I think Quinshon Judkins is really, really talented, but I'm not drafting him. I'm afraid. I'm dead ass scared.
Yeah. I'm right with you with that just because, honestly, you're holding out your rookie deal. He did have some legal issues, which are behind him now. So I don't know how much that plays a role, but it definitely can in certain respects, right? Just because, I guess he hasn't signed a contract, so he wasn't really in the NFL. So I don't think he'll get nailed for anything. But, yeah, what you just said is absolutely right. I think it's crazy that he's holding out his rookie year. For whatever reason he is. Let's just move on. We got Jordan Mason, who's next. He's actually on the Minnesota Vikings. He's I would say as far as fantasy, I'm going to go a little bit faster because we're like an hour in and it's going to take forever to get through all these guys. But yeah, I would say he's like a top late round sleeper is what I would say. Especially the one thing that I do like about him is that
he's still a handcuff. He's still a handcuff.
He's a handcuff, but if we're really thinking about, who's he handcuffed to? Why am I blinking? Aaron Jones, right? Aaron Jones
was always hurt.
He's always hurt, right? And that's the thing. Like when he's not hurt, he's phenomenal.
But yeah, he really is.
If you remember last year, he was out for like at least a couple of weeks. So definitely a good sneaky like handcuff. If you're even going to go that route with Aaron Jones, that would probably be his best value. But yeah, I mean, he's a handcuff. So
here's what I'll say real quick. The 49ers traded Jordan Mason to the Vikings. So the Vikings went out of their way to get Jordan Mason. They already had Ty Chandler, who I think is a solid backup, who I think could be the second running back for the Bears immediately. Ty Chandler could. But the Vikings still said, hell no, we still need a running back. They went out and got Jordan Mason. They gave up a 2026 sixth-round pick and this during the draft, I remember. And they signed him immediately to a 2-year deal worth $12 million. Okay, I think they believe in Mason. I think they know what they have. I think they know if Aaron Jones goes down at all. I think honestly, Jordan Mason's a better running back than Aaron Jones at this point. But if Aaron Jones goes down, Jordan Mason could be a league winner, genuinely.
Oh yeah, and he averaged 5.2 yards per carry.
Great.
Right? Anything Granted, it was on the 49ers, right? We all know Shanahan. I could play for the 49ers, and I would.
The Vikings are no slouch. The Vikings, Kevin O'Connell has that offense.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's a great culture. I think he's going to do great. But yeah, if you're looking to start him right away, that's not going to happen. So, J.K. Dobbins.
Javonte Williams. Yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
We have Javonte Williams. Not too much to say. Guy's always hurt. I don't really want any shares of him. I'll say this. He's on a new team. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Is he going to make the team? I don't know. Is he? Maybe. What's the word here?
Because there's a crazy backfield competition, which we're going to talk about the next guy, J.K. Dobbins, right?
Well, hold on. We didn't even get to Javonte. We still got Javonte. Is he going to make the team? What's the word on Javonte here? It says, let me see here. Javonte Williams continues to see most of the reps with the starters. He hasn't averaged 4 yards per carry since 2022. While Williams
I don't think.
The edge.
Yeah. There's not much to say about. He sucked last year. He's never done well.
They're saying Williams should get the edge over Jaden Blue to start because Blue's a rookie. But I don't know. They want him. He's the lead running back there, right? So
yeah, but remember last year with Denver? It was just a carousel, right? And you never could guess the right running back. And when you did, you were benching him, right?
The whole team sucks. Dak sucks. Javonte sucks.
Yeah.
They have George Pickens as the number 2 receiver behind CeeDee, but that offensive line sucks. The defense is garbage. Absolutely garbage. Yeah, I don't really want.
I hope they get rid of. I hope they honestly do trade Micah Parsons.
I hope they lose every game.
CeeDee Lamb would be such a good pickup because they're going to be throwing from behind all season. Yeah. Anyways,
true. They're already going to be doing that. That's already going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, can we talk about something exciting?
Go for it. Yep.
Okay, J.K. Dobbins. Because I got his picture, and I was excited to do that.
Looking like
so he signed a 1-year deal, $5.25 million contract with the Denver Broncos in June of 2025. So anyway, Dobbins has taken the majority of the first team snaps over R.J. Harvey, which is causing a little bit of but I'm with you. They just, the veteran coaches just value his experience, right? He's elite pass blocker skills, so obviously he's going to get that. I would say he has a high fantasy upside. So when he was on the Chargers last year, everyone's thought out, we're like, well, why are you going to go for him? He's going to get hurt, blah, blah, blah. He started the year really, really strong, right? And then he just kind of pooped the bed towards the end, which is not good for fantasy because at that point, you're probably in your playoffs, if not the championship, and you need your guys to show up, and he did not. So I just think he has high upside. I think definitely with where he's landing with his ADP. Right now, he's being picked around, he's the 90th pick, so the 8th round in PPR format. So you could probably get him later than that. I don't know. What do you think? Anything?
I think I'm high on the number one running back that's going to be there. But look,
RJ?
Sean Payton is the head coach, and we'll
See,
talk
that's
about
what
Harvey in a
bugs
little bit.
me about him. That's
He
what
loves
bugs
running the
me
ball.
about him. I know he loves running the ball, but he's like such a committee guy, and it's just annoying. It's just like for fantasy purposes, right? Team wise, awesome, good for you, man. But it just makes it hard to like trust any of them, honestly. Where you think, like I said last year, like you're just guessing of like who's going to have even like the hot hand approach. He didn't really do that last year either. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know. That's all I have. So, do you want to move on to Jaylen Warren?
Yeah, go for it. You
Okay.
got it.
So he re-signed with the Steelers, April 1 year, restricted free agent worth $5.3 million. So the cool thing is now Najee Harris was a free agent. Warren has been ramping up in camp, looking poised for an expanded year in the backfield. The only thing is, he didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think his preseason game he was looking that great.
Who? Jaylen Warren?
Yeah.
I've always thought he was crazy explosive. I've always thought he should have been the lead back when it was him
I agree.
and Najee Harris. I thought that was the case. You know, look, the shitty part is he's going to be an RB2 again, and it's because the guy who's ahead of him. That's really it. That's really it.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Really,
but I think
like-
he's a good yin and yang kind of guy. It's just opportunity. It wouldn't surprise me if he's the lead guy for a week or two, and the next guy just takes it over from him. But as I look at the depth charts, they have him at number one right now as it stands. I just think that as the season progresses, there's a rookie who I'll talk about that's going to take his job.
Okay. So we already kind of talked about Brian Robinson. Is there anything else you want to add about him?
No, not really.
Okay, cool. So we can move on to Tyrone Tracy Jr., the sneaky dark horse, right? He was a waiver wire pickup last year. He played all 17 games for 192 carries, 895 rushes. So he was averaging about 4.4 yards per carry, 38 receptions. So definitely great for PPR, for 284 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. So they were the second highest rookie totals in Giants history. So that's awesome. Just trying to see what is really relevant here. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing about any of the running backs and for the Giants is I feel like they're going to be throwing it a lot. I don't really feel like he's
Look,
what's up, my guy?
I don't think the Giants are that good. But that offense will be solid, and
their defense.
Tyrone's going to get chances.
Their defense is going to be good, dude.
He's going to get chances. He flashed last year. He looked really good, and I think he could be a solid RB2.
Okay, cool. You want to talk about RJ Harvey?
Yeah, RJ motherfucking Harvey. Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm super, super excited about him. Guy is explosive. He looks good. Sean Payton went out of his way to get this guy. I think Sean Payton was looking for his Alvin Kamara. I think he just knows how to use running backs. I know they're being really mum on how good he's been. I think RJ Harvey is going to be electric. I'm very excited. He's a little short, yes, but he's super athletic, super explosive. A guy that I want as many shares of as possible. I think he finishes in the top 25. I think he might be finishing in the top 20.
Okay. Yeah, I agree to all of that. As I said, it is a carousel, but you're absolutely right. I think they're going to be running the crap out of the ball this year. There's been a lot of buzz about him. I think a lot of teams were trying to target him as well too, since they lost out on Ashton Genty. So he was kind of like the next guy that was being excited about. So
They use a second round pick on him, and he's going into a great situation with a year
sure
two
is.
quarterback in Bo Nix, with an offense that's getting better. I'm excited. I think Harvey's going to be really good.
I agree. So I think, what round are you going? Are you like you targeting him hard? Or are you just
Yeah.
like,
If we're in the 20s, I'm gonna go. I don't know, around 6. Where are you taking him?
yeah, 6 or 7, right in there. Hopefully, everyone we're drafting with this Saturday isn't paying attention to this. So
Yeah,
that'll be great.
I got him. I got people saying mid to late round 5. This is where I got his ADP. But
I
that's
could
if
see
we had him
that.
at 22. That's if we had him at 22. We have him closer to 28. I think I had him a little higher on my rankings than you did. So that's why he fell at 28. I had him like a little higher. I think I had him at 21, 22, somewhere in that range. I think I had him at 23. Looking at my rankings, I had him at 23. So yeah, 5th round, 6th round, maybe 7th if he falls. He's a rookie though, so sometimes these guys fall.
They
There's not
do.
enough tape on him yet. Use that to your advantage. Look at these
Absolutely.
rookies. Use them to your advantage because there's not tape
Especially
on them yet.
rookie running backs, dude. Like,
You want them. You want them.
because they're not learning, like, how to run routes. They
You
don't
know,
have to, like, worry
am
about
I
tempo and
blocking?
timing.
What side am I blocking? Am I running a route? Maybe, probably not. And which way am I running?
Yeah.
That's it. Am I
Okay,
running
cool.
between the A gap, the B gap, the C gap? Where am I running?
And as soon as they get the ball, that everything goes out the window. Like, fuck this, let's go.
Let's go.
Right. So,
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna talk about Caleb Johnson.
I
Oh,
am very high on Caleb Johnson as well. I think you're really high on him too, DL. What do you got
am.
on Caleb Johnson? Where are you
what
at? What are you thinking?
So this is basically in training camp, right? He's Arthur Smith has been very impressed with this guy, right? He rushed for 50 yards on 11 attempts, 4.5 yards per carry. So definitely made him like debut was a step forward. There has been some criticism. Analysts are concerned that he hasn't yet displayed the explosive expected at a 3rd round talent. And comparisons are being drawn between him and a fellow Steeler back, Jaylen Warren. I think he overtakes it. I think this is definitely a guy that you definitely want. I think he's like an RB2 right there, RB2, RB3 rank, but really could emerge as an RB1. I think he's going to get the job. I think he's going to pass Jaylen Warren and be the guy. Hopefully Karen Rodgers doesn't mess things up. He's being currently ranked at RB23 in mid-August PPR rankings. So we're not too far off. We have him a little bit lower, which is great because hopefully people are paying attention to this and they don't draft him any higher. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you have any other insight?
Yeah, Caleb Johnson is the best runner on that team, but he can't pass block worth a damn, and he can't really catch the ball that well. He's just a good running back. Here is the downside. If he cannot get his pass pro in order, then we have him ranked way too high, and Jaylen Warren will move up a few spots, maybe 5 spots. And Johnson will drop below Caleb Warren, below Jaylen Warren.
Sure.
Here's the reason. Their quarterback, and we know this as Bears fans, their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, notoriously hates running backs that cannot pass block. And if they cannot pass block, he tells them to get out of there. He literally will yell at the running back on television and tell him, get off the fucking field. And then they'll have the backup somebody who can pass block for him. Truth. This is truth, okay? So if Caleb cannot fix his pass blocking woes, I do not expect him to get off early in the season looking good, okay? However, I think the talent still rises to the top. He is the best runner on that team. Dude's a tank. Dude is a tank. So it's going to be interesting. A guy that I'm trying to get a few shares of. If I already have 2 running backs, I'll try to get shares of them. Personally, if I'm being honest, I prefer RJ Harvey, but, they're right there.
All right. Let's check the chat. So we got Trey, who actually just subscribed. Thanks, Trey. I was wondering if y'all are answering questions on the stream. I guess
Yeah,
We were
absolutely.
about, so I'm a newer player to fantasy, year 2, number 1 PPR. Did a big trade. Can you grade it? So he traded Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, and Devontae Smith.
That's
Got
a
back
lot. Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen, CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard. So I would, okay, let me
Okay.
double check. I'd give it like a B plus, right? A little concerned. Josh Allen is. I think that's a fair trade. You could debate that. Derrick Henry. I mean, I think he lost a little bit there. I would have kept Derrick Henry, but he did get CeeDee Lamb. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this like a B.
Okay.
And oh man,
Can you pull it back up? Hold on. You gotta let me weigh in, you son of a
oh
gun.
sorry. There's some more information.
We'll
Like
get
a little
there. We'll get
backstory.
there. Okay, so Josh Allen, let's just wait in a vacuum because I don't know what his backup quarterback looks like. I don't know anything. I'd rather have Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts,
Yep.
so he wins that. I'd rather have CeeDee Lamb over Derrick Henry, so he wins that. I don't know what your running back situation looks like, but I'd rather have CeeDee Lamb. And then you have Tony Pollard and Devontae Smith. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a
I
little
get why the
tricky.
guy did it. I get why. Can you grade it? He traded away. Okay, so Devontae Smith. I don't know. I got him ranked like in my top 70 overall. And then who's he got? Pollard. Whoever got Pollard. I'd rather have Pollard over Devontae Smith. But the difference between CeeDee Lamb and Derrick Henry is big enough where I'd rather have. It's kind of close to a wash. If I'm being honest, it's kind of close to a wash. A lot of it depends on what you have backup wise. But yeah, give me Josh Allen's side because Josh Allen and
Yeah,
CeeDee Lamb are a little better. So yeah.
yeah. As soon as I saw CeeDee Lamb, I was like, oh man, you won, bro. Like that's awesome. I feel like you got a really high value. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be really good this year.
Okay.
Because the Dallas is going to be horrible as far as defense is concerned. Here's a little backstory that he had. He's in an 8-man league, by the way. Do I trust my RB core or try to trade? I have Chase Brown,
Love it.
Amar Hampton,
Omarion Hampton. Got it. Love it.
dude, Caleb Johnson, which we just talked about, Tony
Solid.
Pollard,
I mean, he's like a backup flex. Yeah. Love it. It's cool.
Joe Mixon, super late.
I wouldn't want Joe. I'm afraid of Joe. Try to trade Joe.
Yeah, try to get. Yeah, I would definitely try
Like
to
right
move on
now.
from Joe, like now,
Like right now.
before
Yeah.
anything comes out, and maybe
Yeah.
his name will surpass. I did thank him, and thanks for all the lighting up our chat, Trey. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I feel we
There you
both got better. He needed a running back big time, and he's an Eagles fan. Okay, there you go. See,
Yep.
not every trade has to be like you're trying. That's a big thing that we talk about every year too, is that like someone's always feeling like they're getting fleeced, or like, not every trade's like that. Like some people are like, yo man, here's value for value. Like, what do you think? And yeah, I think more people need to like start trading, especially in our leagues. I don't know, maybe my home league, no one wants to trade, or someone just gives ridiculous, stupid trades. Like, give me like your best player, and I'll give you like five guys that are on my bench. Like, please stop. Like, don't even waste your time.
It's just the fear of losing trades. That's really what it
Thanks.
is. People are so scared of losing a trade that they won't. Man, let's keep it real. Everybody overvalues their players.
Oh yeah, they get attached.
Of it.
I get attached
The number
to my
one thing
players.
people should do: never ever fall in love.
Don't fall in love with
your
team.
players.
Nope.
I will
'Cause it
always
sucks.
that to
No.
come home. Fucking don't fall in love with your players. All right, deal. With that said, let's continue on.
Wait, we got another one. My draft is this weekend. Everyone else sucks pretty bad.
Sucks pretty bad, Rudd. Ha!
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rudd. He's in our home league, and he's just being Rudd. That's all I can say. Okay, so let's go back. Because the next question Trey has is about Isaiah Pacheco, which we're honestly talking about next. So let's look at this guy. Pacheco had an injury last year, as we all kind of remembered. It was a fractured fibula in week 2, missing a lot of time. But upon his return, his efficiency dropped with multiple players rotating in. And that's another thing. Kansas City's backfield is crowded. He's returning with Kareem Hunt, Elijah Mitchell, and rookie Rashad Smith. So, wow. It's a crazy committee. I don't like this. I think he's going to be like, once again, said it already, RB flex material, if you will. I think he has an upside for RB2, but like, sucks, man, because like last year, 2 years, he was the guy. And if you got him, you're like, heck yeah, you could set and forget it. The dude ran angry. But yeah, that injury really, really hurt him pretty bad. Pacheco is currently an ADP is currently ranked around RB 26. Despite injuries, analysts suggest that he remains a high upside target, especially given Chiefs' strong offense. Their uncertainty about touches keeps expectations grounded. So, layman terms, we don't know how many times he's going to get lined up behind there. And yeah, that nothing sucks more than when there's a team that literally has a crowded backfield. So that's my take. I don't know if you want to add to that, JC.
Look, I think he's solid. I think he's a guy I would try to get my hands on. I like how the way he runs the ball. Just injury prone. I'm not moving, earth to try to get him, but when he plays, he's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't feel like the Chiefs run the ball when they're in the end zone. They pass it. But still, a guy that could look into some touchdowns. He had 7 touchdowns in 2023, and he had only 1 on 83 attempts in 2024. But only 83 attempts because he got hurt. So, let's see what happens. If he's healthy, he could be an RB2. So easy. High on RB2. He's an RB2 right now. If he's healthy, he's got some RB1 potential.
Especially if this information is going out, right? Like a lot of people are kind of be low on him. So maybe you can get some like really good value once again and get him. What does it say? RB26? I mean, was that 4th round?
He's healthy right now, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I don't see. And if we think about like the backfield, right? Kareem Hunt, I'm not worried about him. Elijah Mitchell, he missed last year. And he had some like mental issues as well too. Not saying that whatever, like I hope he's in a better state. But yeah, I still think Pacheco is the number 1 guy. Rashad Smith, I don't know him too well. Do you know anything crazy about Rashad Smith?
No, Pacheco's the best running back on the Chiefs. He's going in like the 6th round, 7th round. Okay. Where they got him now? Let me take a real quick on ADP. They have Isaiah Pacheco. What do you got?
It said RB26, but I don't know if that's changed. This might be outdated a little bit.
Okay. I'm showing Isaiah Pacheco is going in the 7th round. Yeah, give me Pacheco.
Bro, yeah, never mind. I take back everything I said. Not worried. Grab him. He's the guy. Okay. Do we talk about Tony Pollard?
Sorry, 6th round now. I'm showing in the ADP. So yeah, if you get him in the 5th, 6th, I could take him. I would take him.
Yeah, I like that.
Next guy, not a lot to say. Joe Mixon's always been my boy. I'm a old school Bengals fan out here.
Old school now.
Yeah. Look, the guy's playing through injury. It wouldn't surprise me if they just let him try to get healthy.
Yeah,
guys even playing through injury.
Like, the thing is like he hasn't done anything preseason. He's still dealing with that injury from last year. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I mean, I would be very, very cautious drafting on one. If you get him at like a good rate or a good round, go for it. But I'm not going to target him. That's the way I look at it. Cool.
The news here from Ian Rappaport is Texans running back Joe Mixon, who is on the non-football injury list, is expected to be out an extended period of time with a frustrating foot injury, sources say. The Pro Bowler is coming off a 1,000-yard season and will be reevaluated closer to the season start to determine his availability. It looks like he is going to be dealing with this injury all year.
Yeah, that's not good. That is not good.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with that. Unless he falls in my lap really late, I want nothing to do with that. What running back should I try to target to offer Joe Mixon?
Caleb Johnson.
I mean, yeah, if you can get one of those guys, go for it. If I were you, I would try to target a guy, like Pacheco. See if you can get a Pacheco. See if you can get a Pollard. Um, just those are two guys that I'd like to try to land. See if you can go get an RJ Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can get a Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah,
Not sexy
for
names.
sure.
But see if you can do it. Yeah, see if you can land
Especially
those guys.
if like somebody's not really like they don't know anything about that running back. They know a lot about Joe Mixon, so maybe they're like, okay, well maybe there's more value at Joe Mixon versus this rookie that may not be great.
Yeah, let's go to the next guy, Tony Pollard, who he's leading us into. DL, your thoughts on Tony Pollard going into this year?
My thoughts on Tony Pollard.
He's asking who should he trade? He should trade Joe Mixon.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I read that wrong. Okay, so Tony Pollard definitely got some great, I wouldn't say great news, but he is the RB1 in the Titans backfield. He's not injured at all, participating fully in the offseason. Coach Brian Callahan confirmed Pollard is cleared for his prior ankle issue and expressed plans to manage the Texans backfield by sharing carries more evenly and fully. Well, guess what? He's pretty much the only one back there right now. So he's a workhorse, man. Last year he rushed for 1,079 yards on 260 carries, scoring 5 TDs. He also added 41 reception yards for 238 yards. He ranked 9th in snap share in weight opportunities, finishing the year at RB22. I think honestly, this guy I would say is like, I would consider him like a mid-round, high floor RB2 with a lot of upside.
He's going in the 6th round right now, and I think he's a great option for zero RB or for hero RB, whatever you want to call it. I think he's a perfect candidate. You're right. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, and he was top 10 in the NFL in running back touches. Okay, he finished last year as RB21 in half-point PPR leagues. Keep that in mind. And here's the big difference last year. His quarterback play was bad. He gets the number 1 pick in the NFL in Cam Ward, who's looked good. Okay, and that will help. That alone will get the ball moving. He'll get more touches in the red zone. He'll get more dump-off passes. They'll be in more games. I think that would not surprise me to see him finish in the top 20 between 15 and 20.
Yeah, I think I think that's going to be a sneaky guy to add that a lot of people are going to be scratching their head because I think a lot of people don't realize how well he did last year on the Titans. I mean, I didn't. I was like, yeah, I heard like, oh, he's doing great. But I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the guy. I'm sorry, yep. Trey did appreciate our feedback. Good luck and keep the questions coming. Okay.
Cool. Turn those noties on so you know when we go live, Trey. We'll always answer any questions.
Ring that bell, dude.
Yeah. All right, DL. Next guy we got is Aaron Jones Sr. What else can we say, DL? Guys, beating Father Time for now, but it's only a matter of time until he loses. So I'm just not super high on him. When he plays, he's good, man. The guy still got it. But, he's on the wrong side of how old is he? 30 now? How old is he?
He's like, he's definitely like 30, 32, I want to say. I would say like Aaron Jones is, even last year, like I got him, but I wasn't like excited. I wasn't like, yes, I got Aaron Jones. I was like, okay. 30. I hope got
a lot of mileage on those legs.
And that was the thing, like, and we kind of talked about it earlier. When he's on the field and healthy, the dude, he will do what he needs to do. He was the lead RB in 2025. He rushed for 1,138 yards. He was averaging about 4.5 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns, 51 catches for 408 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. So to me, like that screams PPR, obviously. But this year I feel like he's not the RB1. He's like a low end RB2.
Okay.
That would probably be the best way I would.
Yeah, RB2 upside easily. Fact of the matter is, the guy could be great if he plays the whole year, over 1,000 yards, and he catch the ball really well too, or he could get hurt and be, the reason why Jordan Mason becomes very valuable. So I'm not sure a guy that I would draft if he's there late, but not a guy that I'm looking to try to build around. All right, jump to the next guy. At 22, we have Trayvon Henderson, DL.
Yes.
Let's be quick.
Yes. I think this is another like really, really good. Like, I think he's gonna be awesome. I think he's gonna pass up Ramondre Stevenson in his like what was it? I don't know if it was last week or his first preseason. He ran for 99 yards, dude. 100-yard kickoff return on his first preseason touch, and he got a touchdown. Let's see, just trying to grab some stuff. I think he just has really high upside. I think this is a guy that you're going to be happy that you have on your team. I want a lot of him. I really do. I think that overall, get out of here. Sorry. Overall, I think the New England Patriots are going to look a lot different than they did last year. And I think this is going to be an amazing running back. I can't say enough on it. I think he's going to be a dynamic playmaker, and he's going to be explosive. I think he's going to be a steal in the draft.
Okay. I think he's going to be a steal of the draft too. He's looked really good in training camp. They're talking really highly on him. Julian Edelman came out and said the Patriots rookie Trayvon Henderson could be the steal of the draft. So big fan of Edelnut, and we'll see what they say. I do want to give you a little bit of information on him. The guy looks explosive. They're saying that he is a stud, and he's looked like the best player offensively for the Patriots. So we'll see what happens. Definitely a guy that I want to get my hands on and want to try to draft. So just throwing that out there. I'd rather have him than Aaron Jones, than Tony Pollard, than Pacheco, than Caleb, than RJ Harvey. So yeah, super, super high on him too. I think he's got high floor and a high ceiling too. So guy that I want for sure. We'll go to the next guy, David Montgomery. I'd rather have Trayvon Henderson over David Montgomery. Just throwing that out there. I'm a little concerned that Ben Johnson's gone from Detroit, but David Montgomery is David Montgomery. If he gets 6 to 8 touches, I don't really want him. But if he gets 8 to 10 touches, a guy that I want, because some of those touches are going to be red zone touches, and that alone is enough to roster David Montgomery. I think he's a great flex option, and in many leagues, a really solid low-end RB2.
Wow. Yeah, it took a lot of my things as well too. The one thing I like about Monty overall is that backfield's pretty balanced, right? So I think they both get like a touchdown overall, like every game. I'm trying to pull that up real quick. Can't get it. Let's just go this route. Yeah, I mean, he no injuries, so that's good. Serves as a solid 1B tandem with Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that's the only concern that I have. Obviously, he's splitting that time. But yeah, his production last year, 775 yards, 185 carries, 4.2 yards per carry, 12 rushing touchdowns, 36 receptions, 341 yards. Obviously, the Bears now have their offensive coordinator as their head coach, so I'm a little bit curious to see what changes, what doesn't change. Are they going to be looking the same or a little bit different? Yeah, I would say, he's RB2 for sure with a solid floor.
Okay. Next guy I'm really high on. I think he's being undervalued. Chuba Hubbard.
He is. He definitely is.
I'm not sure if you have a picture of him, but he finished top 12 in fantasy and half PPR at running back. He finished ahead of a lot of big name guys that we're going to mention here in a moment. Chuba's value is obviously capped, specifically when compared to the other guys that we're going to name in a moment. because of the receiving game. Let's call it what it is. He only caught 43 passes last year, which is actually a little more than we thought he would catch. But the reason why he's being underestimated, and undervalued is people don't remember how good he was on the ground. He was really, really good last year. And let's see here. I have some stats. Okay. Chuba was effective in the red zone, turning 41 carries inside the 20 into 8 rushing touchdowns. His usage was there. His usage there was elite. Okay. He handled 63% of the team's carries inside the 20, the 5th most in the league, and just a smidge behind Derrick Henry. He was even more effective inside the 5. His 17 carries inside the 5-yard line were tied for 4th most among running backs, and his 7 touchdowns in that area were tied for 5th. Okay, so the guy has produced. As soon as he gets in the red zone, you can almost book it. It's almost going to be a touchdown. Super, super efficient with his touches. Just a guy I'm high on, a guy that I think has RB1 upside, but is being drafted as RB2.
Yeah, just put a cherry on top. He got 11 touchdowns. 10 of them were rushing. 1 was actually through the air. He rushed for 1,195 yards. Also, I wouldn't sleep on the Panthers. I don't think the Panthers are the Panthers of the old where they totally suck. They've been slowly rebuilding. They're getting younger. They're getting better.
Good head coach. Dave Canales, good head coach. Offensive-minded head coach.
And not only that, Bryce looked really good towards the end of last year. So, yeah, he ranked 7th with points. He was averaging 7th in expected points. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I think he's got a high floor, RB2. Definitely able to get to the RB1 status. And the cool thing is that he's going to go late in rounds. I don't think a lot of people are going to, target him. So I think he'd be a really sneaky guy.
Yep, I agree. A guy that I want to draft. Next guy, Alvin Kamara. It's just my boy. He's been so good for me forever. Have him in a dynasty league. Love you, Alvin. I think the fall off happens this year. I can't believe he's still playing. I feel like I've been talking about Alvin Kamara forever. He's still the lead running back for the Saints. And, last year he finished with 950 rushing yards on 228 attempts, averaging 4.2 yards per carry, and finished with 6 touchdowns on 68 total receptions as well. I just think he's a guy who's going to get a ton of volume on a bad team. That's my only fear, that they're going to be playing from behind. But because he can catch the ball, he is uber valuable still in half-point to full-point PPR leagues. I'm a fan. I like Alvin Kamara. I'd rather have Chuba, but I'm still high on Alvin Kamara. Yeah,
I mean, you already mentioned he's definitely based on volume, right? So he's an RB2 with a high-end upside. That's what I would say. I would say his best value is going to be in PPR, right? Because the dude catch, and he's definitely going to get the yards that you're used to. Who was the tight end? What was his name? He's like a quarterback too.
Oh, Taysom Hill.
Yeah, fuck that guy. That's the only thing that makes me a little bit wary, just because they put him in, and then Alvin is just not. They just forget about him. However, he was their offense last year, because for whatever reason, who they got Snake. What's his name?
Taysom Hill?
No. The other QB, Rattler.
Spencer.
Snake. Yeah. He sucks. So I think Alvin does have a lot of upside, and I think they're going to be running the ball quite a bit, because that dude can't make it. All right, cool. And they drafted a new quarterback as well too, but everything coming out of camp and preseason games is that guy was a bust. So,
I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather have RJ Harvey than Alvin Kamara. I'd rather have RJ Harvey than David Montgomery, than Trayvon Henderson.
You would rather have RJ over these guys?
Yeah, and then the next guy we're going to mention, then Caleb Johnson, then Trybone Tracy, then Aaron Jones. That's just me.
Cool. Moving on.
All right, next guy. Omarion Hampton, DL. I love Omarion Hampton. I'd rather have Omarion Hampton over RJ Harvey. I'm sorry, RJ. I love you, but give me Omarion Hampton. Now, Omarion Hampton, the UNC product, I think the guy is just a complete running back. I wanted the Bears to take him so bad. Let's call it what it is. He's going to get every opportunity to play and be the lead running back for a head coach that is going to use him, all 4 downs. He's going to let him, let's call it what it is. I think Omarion Hampton's going to get opportunities to be a workhorse, a cowbell running back, as we used to say in the game. Omarion Hampton's going to be great. And he's got a great quarterback in Justin Herbert. He's a big guy, fast guy, elusive. You know who he reminds me of, DL? This is going to be crazy. You're not going to believe me when I say this. Omarion Hampton reminds me of Matt Forte. Just silky smooth, really, really good, and a guy that I want as many shares as possible. I can see Omarion Hampton finish in the top 10, honestly. So that's my Matt Forte comparison deal. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree. There's been, he's quickly running. Sorry, I just ran and crafted beers. I'm a little winded. But yeah, I mean, basically, he's a green light and a draft target due to his opportunity. He definitely is a great team fit. He pretty much touched on a lot of stuff. His strengths, power running with contact balance, ideal between the tackles, right? So quick rise means less certainty on snap volume and roll stability. This is a steal. Let's just put it. That's the best I can say.
So, yeah, I'm reaching for him as early as the 4th. Yeah. Wow. I'm super, super high on Omarion Hampton. I really am.
Yeah, no, I think I would take him over Trey for sure, and I'm really high on him.
And with Najee being kind of hurt right now,
Yeah, they said Najee Harris sideline with a non-football injury. Hampton has stepped into the lead back role, putting together strong performance and practice. One reporter described his showing as overall just a strong day. So it's not if, it's when. I think he's going to be the guy.
Okay. All right. Cool. Flying through these, Breece Hall. I was disappointed with him last year, but he's still going to get a ton of opportunity. And a guy that I want to try to get. We'll jump over to Kenneth Walker.
Whoa. Okay. We'll fly, but there's a couple of things that we're missing out with Breece Hall, right? Number one, some of the stuff that he's saying coming out of camp is like, yeah, I guess I'm not their guy, right? There's also talk that it's definitely going to be a committee. His contract's up. I think they're going to move on. I think this is his last role. I don't want anything to do with Breece Hall just because I don't think he's going to be featured. So, sorry. Go ahead. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I want Breece Hall. I think he's a value. I think if you can get him late, 5th round, 4th round, which I don't think he'll be there, but if you could,
I'm passing.
I would
hard pass on him, dude. Don't like the committee. Also, he's also competing with Justin Fields as well too. So
they do see stacked boxes. You're not wrong.
Yeah, and like you said last year, he was supposed to be like it was CMC and him. Those are like the first 2 like running backs right off the board. And he was such a letdown last year, like a huge letdown. But Kenneth Walker,
definitely a guy that I want to get my hands on. A guy that I think is legit top 6 running back upside. Explosive, just a workhorse. The guy's a freak. I love Kenneth Walker. And I'm trying to draft him. Honestly, everywhere I can.
Yeah. The only thing with me, like we said, we're trying to go fast. Don't like the O-line at all. Don't like the fact that he just injuries, man. Like he's just the way he runs, because he runs so violently, which is good, but it also leads to a lot of injuries that like knock him out. He's already missed several practices during camp this year with a sore foot. And we're not even playing real football yet. So yeah, that would be my only. I think he's definitely a high quality RB2 with upside.
I got him at RB1.
Cool,
personally, but I get it. Top 12 is usually RB1.
Now you have a thing for him. You have a thing for Kenneth Walker. You liked him for a while, so makes sense. Okay, James Conner.
Yep, we got James Conner at 14. All reliable, still gets it done somehow, some way. Guy's good, man. Nothing else I could say. Solid, consistent.
last year I definitely drafted him, and yeah, he got me to the playoffs. And yeah, dude, he's looking good. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's still top of the game. All right, Chase Brown.
That's my boy, Illini. The dude's super explosive. Looks like he gets shot out of a cannon every time he touches the ball. I don't know what's up with his hair there. I mean, he looks like he just smoked a bunch of weed.
Kind of looks like you, dude.
Really? Oh, shit.
I mean, a little bit, right? Let's see. Look at, and you're wearing the bang. Yeah. Like, okay. Like maybe back in the day when you wore your fake earrings. But I think his is real.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I could see that. I like Chase Brown. I think the guy's explosive as hell. And I want as many shares of Chase Brown as I can get. So,
I 100% agree with that. I also think he's the bell cow. He's the guy in the backfield. He's not. There is nobody else that he's like competing with. I think he just signed a contract as well too, so that's off the table. And I think since the Bengals are trying to get off to a fast start, they've had a really rough year. So I'm definitely targeting Chase Brown as well, along with the next guy.
Yeah. Let's jump over to the next guy, Bucky Irving. This is your boy, DL. What you got?
Love Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving last year, definitely was. I think he was one of the top waiver wire guys. I don't think a lot of people were drafting him, but overall, he just looked better. He just had definitely more steam. This is a guy that can block. This is a guy that can catch. And I think this year it's going to be a phenomenal year. He's the primary ball carrier. Just talking about last year, he had 1,122 yards rushing, 8 rushing TDs, 47 receptions, and 392 yards. All on 207 carries. So let that melt in your head a little bit. He was 5.4 yards per carry. I think on year 2, he is a safe RB1. I think he's going to be great. I don't know how much more I can talk about him, but I think we have him right.
Super high guy, gets it done. Reliable. I like Bucky Irving. Next guy's my boy, Kyren Williams. Look, a lot of this is contingent on a little bit. Everyone looks like me. Everyone brown. Racist bastard. I think Kyren Williams is going to be solid again. I was really high on him last year. I had him in my top 8. And I took him as such. And, a lot of his value is contingent on Matt Stafford playing. If he does not play, if he gets hurt for any reason, Kyren drops out of the top 10 for me, for sure. But as long as Matt Stafford's playing, I'm a big Kyren Williams guy. Just gets it done. Dude is a freak. He's a little on the smaller side, but, I try to take him everywhere I can. DL?
Yeah, pretty much. I 100% agree. The only thing is, Matthew Stafford is dealing with a back injury. However, he was practicing this week, so I think a little caution right there because I don't know how that's going to really play out. But last year, 2,443 rushing yards, 31 touches, which led to comparison with a standout back like James Cook. So with greater volume. So come on. I think
he had 350 touches last year for a total of 1,481 yards. Dude. The guy gets a ton of volume. So on that alone, man, guy is a beast. The next guy we have up is Ashton Jeanty. I'm going to go ahead and anoint him my boy. I'm going to anoint him my boy.
Oh, okay. Really?
Love.
Wow. That was...
Love. What?
Wow. Your boy? Yeah. I didn't even get a shot, dude. He's everyone's
not this
boy.
Time.
Are you kidding me?
Not this time. So is Hampton. Hampton's my boy, too. So is RJ Harvey.
Ashton Jeanty, the number 1 draft.
I'll let you have boys.
No, go ahead. He's your boy. No, he's your boy.
So, anyway, Jeanty seems to be ready to go. He was on the sidelines this past game that he played a few days ago, but he looked like he's good to go. I'll say this about Jeanty. That Raiders team is going to run the heck out of the ball. Doesn't have any competition at the running back position, really. And everywhere I see different experts, they have him ranked in the top 8 for the most part. I'm just super high in a guy. I don't know if you got a chance to see him. He just doesn't go down. He reminds me a lot of Maurice Jones-Drew to be honest. A guy with a low center of gravity, a little bit of Doug Martin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day. Doesn't go down easy, fights hard for the extra yards. My only fear is that he gets hurt because he's a smaller guy, but guy's a beast, and I cannot wait to see what he does in fantasy.
Yeah, Yahoo's predicting that he's going to rush for 1,248 yards with 8 TDs. So,
Nice.
yeah, this is a solid. Would you grab him in the first round, second round? Like, are you that in? Is he your guy that big? Where you're like, yeah.
I'm just not there in the first round. I'm there in the second round.
Fair. Okay.
There.
Fair.
Yep. All right, next guy, Devon Achane. DL.
Oh, man. Devon Achane. He is a beast when healthy, right? Last year, the only thing that was really kind of messed up is that when Tua wasn't in, then his production went woo, which like half the team. The other thing that makes me a little bit cautious on him is like overall, Miami, like I don't know, man. Miami's not doing well. Right now he's dealing with a calf injury,
which is tricky.
Good, and he will miss this week of practice and the final preseason game. The Dolphins are taking preemptive approach, blah, blah, blah. The teams expect him to be available for the season opener, September 7th, against the Colts. Mike McDaniel, I think he's on the hot seat this year. I don't think it's looking good. The thing about him is that he's a smaller back, as you mentioned before. So, like, man, when he gets in space, he's lightning quick. He looks amazing, and he catches the ball. I think he's going to do really great in that role. Like I said, the only thing is that I'm worried about him getting injured. As you can see, he's already injured. But yeah, high ceiling. I think he's definitely one of the top tier RBs in fantasy. Wouldn't hesitate to pull the trigger if he falls to me.
Yep. All right. I'm with you there. I'm scared of the calf injury. I'm knocking him down a few pegs to about 11. Just a heads up as a result. But I would try to draft them probably going late second, early third for Achane. Sure. All right, next guy, Jonathan Taylor, my boy. Always been a Taylor fan. He is last year he finished as an RB1, not the RB1, but a RB1. He was RB7 in fantasy points per game. He dealt with a high ankle sprain last year for the better part of the season. He did still rack up 321 touches and finish with 1,500 yards, almost 1,600 yards, and he had 12 touchdowns to boot. Does he have another top 8 season in him? I think so. I think he absolutely could do it. I'm a little concerned about the quarterback play and what that will do. However, if it is Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, if it is him at quarterback, I do think Taylor's rushing numbers will go down, but his pass catching numbers will go up as a result of Daniel Jones' game. Daniel Jones doesn't really throw a great deep ball. He's just kind of a short pass kind of guy. And I think that Jonathan Taylor, a good receiving running back, could benefit from that. I don't know if he's going to get as many opportunities in the red zone. He ranked 6th in red zone touches last year because of the quarterback situation, but he's just super talented, man. Super talented on a team that need him to perform. So I think he can, finish in the top 8 easily.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a strong RB2 with like boom potential. Like I think he's going to start that way, but like, I mean, it's Jonathan Taylor, dude. Like when he was on, he was on. So yeah, these guys are easy. Like I feel like now we're in the top, like 10. Like these are like, I think we should like talk about like, when are you grabbing them? Are you going to first round pick, second round pick? Jonathan Taylor. Well, yeah, I would say that, but it's just, these guys aren't the ones where you're like stashing on your bench. These are guys that you're looking to potentially win you a championship, be a part of your elite guys. So anyways, Josh Jacobs. I will say, okay, I'm going to take it. All right. So Josh Jacobs, overall, I feel like he had a phenomenal year last year. It sucks because he's on the worst team in the whole world. He rushed 1,329 yards on 301 carries. He averaged about 4.4 yards per carry with 15 rushing touchdowns. I feel like we have him maybe a little low. He could go up a little bit higher. No, we have him right where he needs to be. Especially with the Packers offense right now, they have no wide receivers. So I think he's going to get a lot of work, especially in the beginning. And he can catch the ball. 36 receptions, 342 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. He was in the Pro Bowl. Yeah, he's ranked 8. So we have him 6. We're a little high on him. But yeah, I think he's him. I think he's definitely elite. I think he finishes in the top 10 this year.
He ranked 5th in rushing attempts, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns.
I want a lot of him.
So yeah,
even though he's
the Packers ranked 5th in rushing attempts, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns. Jacobs had a solid showing, and he ranked 14th in missed tackles, in forced per attempt, and 19th in yards after contact. So you know what? Top 10 guy, easy.
Like yeah. I almost want to say top 5, almost.
Maybe. I like the guys we have here. Speaking of, we got Derrick Henry at number 5. The ageless wonder still gets it done. Dude's a tank. Dude's a beast. I don't have to say much about him. I really don't need to say much.
Because he went so low last year. Like I even passed him up because it's like I don't know. No, he definitely helped win some championships. And yeah, I think he's going to be great on a Baltimore offense that is utilizing him quite a bit and being successful. So moving on.
Yep. Next guy, Christian McCaffrey. DL. I have loved CMC forever. Last year's season was cut short by bilateral Achilles tendonitis. And I know a ton of fantasy teams are going into the season saying, heck no, I'm not drafting him. I cannot let that happen to me again. He didn't even
start.
And I understand that.
He literally, people drafted him. And when did he start? He was out for like half the year. And I think he played one game and then went back in. Yeah, and it reminded me of that year that you traded him to me when you had him, and he was on Carolina, and he got and I traded you Nick Chubb, and I got him, and I was like all excited. He played one game and was injured for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. In the small sample size McCaffrey played last year, his numbers remained strong. In the 3 full games he played, he averaged 18.6 touches and 93.7 total yards, all while playing 81 to 94% of the snaps. McCaffrey's 22% missed tackles. Forced rate, missed tackles forced, and his 1.8 yards per route run were very strong and among the top 8 at the position. Among the statistical categories, McCaffrey ranked 8th best out of all running backs and 6th best out of all running backs in those categories. So, look, man, the guy still got it. He looks really, really good in training camp. He's not suffering any ill effects from.
So you're gonna target him. You're gonna pick him up on your own team. Absolutely no hesitation.
No hesitation whatsoever.
No way, dude. I just differ. Like the fact that once again he was injured. Like when he's not, he's RB1 easily, no questions asked. But at that value, I don't know, man. I maybe want to do a safer pick just because, and I'm probably going to be wrong, and the person that gets him is going to destroy people, but. Last year, it brought back so many times where I drafted him in the past, and he's sitting on my bench. And now I'm honestly trying to figure out the waiver wire and trying to get somebody that is decent. Because at that point, everyone's gone, right? So I would be cautious with them. If you want to roll the dice, go ahead. But I don't know. Anyways, moving on.
So, I don't think we mentioned DeAndre Swift, did we?
Oh, man. I had him.
Yeah, it's okay. Not much to say. Bears offense is going to be better. He'll be a better running back as a result. And he played well under Ben Johnson.
Wow.
Dang. All right, Dale, we still have defenses to talk about, so let's knock these out. Saquon Barkley, Dale, go ahead. Take it away.
So Saquon, pretty easy. I mean, okay. Saquon, number 3 on our rankings. You all know he's coming back. From a phenomenal year last year, record-setting performance. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know really why you wouldn't grab him. I think he's going to do well again. I I mean, he is him. So moving on, we got Jahmyr Gibbs. Also, I mean, can we just like speed this up? Like Jahmyr Gibbs,
Jameer's a
Bijan
beast,
Robinson,
man.
like we don't really need to sell these guys.
Yep. Jahmyr, and then we finish out with Bijan at number 1. Dude's a beast. Just gonna be the best.
I mean, if you really have questions about him, hit us up in the chat. Let's see. Nope, no questions. Okay, defenses. Let's fly through this.
All right, DL, let's talk about the defenses. We'll go to number 1 as soon as Bijan's face comes off the screen.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We'll go with the Broncos defense at number 1 as we both met eye to eye on that. We go to Eagles at number 2. And these are going to be up and down. There's going to be bye weeks. There's going to be weeks where they play against different teams. But I'm not dropping the top 4 guys, top 5.
Nope.
Okay, I'm not dropping them. I'll stream, but I'll keep the top 5. Eagles, Steelers, Ravens, Bills.
I know we're trying to speed, but do you normally like draft a defense, or do you just kind of wait it out?
No, I draft a defense, especially in highly competitive leagues where you're doing huge defense. Just really competitive leagues, I will draft the defense, and I'll draft them a little early. I know people say don't do that. I will because I think a defense could be the difference between winning and losing a week. I really do.
That's true. Okay.
I'd rather take a defense over Bashiel, Tootin, over a bunch of different guys, So yeah, because you're not gonna start Tootin every week, but you're gonna start a defense every week. So yeah, we got the Broncos, Eagles, Steelers, Ravens, Bills, Lions, Vikings, Chiefs, Texans, Niners to round off the top 10. And for those curious, we don't have the Chicago Bears until 21.
Wow, I think that's gonna change. But drafting wise, I agree.
They have a pretty crummy schedule to start the season. Let's take a look because that has a lot to do with it. The Bears start their season this year with the Lions, great offense, followed by the Raiders, not really great offense. The Saints, trash. The Bengals, good offense. The Vikings, good offense. And then the Eagles. So once they get past those teams, they have the Browns. They have a good 49. The Vikings again. It's a crazy schedule coming up. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, for me, we're like defenses. I guarantee. Yeah, if these defenses are there, absolutely. The first 10, I would definitely draft. But overall, the year after year that I go for, I stream, right? Sometimes it's going to bite you in the ass. It will. So maybe you just kind of wait for like these bye weeks and try to stash them, especially these top 10. But overall, I'd rather focus my attention on like wide receivers and running backs, maybe a backup tight end, and just kind of see where it falls. I don't know. I'm not really like strategizing with defenses, but I think you make a very, very solid and valued point. If you are in a very competitive league, I'm not saying the leagues I am aren't competitive. I would say like my 14-man league, absolutely, I'm going to draft a defense. But yeah, I'm not going to go. It's going to be super late, like towards the end of the draft. When do you usually, and when you're playing competitively, what round do you target a defense?
Oh man, probably around. Let's say there's 20 rounds. Let me tell you what the average amount of rounds in a league is. Give me 10 seconds here, good sir. Okay. I would say probably around 15, 16, somewhere in that range.
Cool.
You?
All right. Same. Maybe even later. I would say if you're trying to get the top defenses, maybe 13, 15. 13 is very early, I think.
Yeah, it's a good round.
But like 13 through 15, if you're feeling solid and you're like, all right, cool, like I got my guys, maybe you got RJ Harvey. Maybe you got some of these like top running backs that we were talking about, like stashed on your bench. Then yeah, go for it. But yeah, I would say 14, 15 is probably where I go.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Yeah.
That was a marathon.
That's probably the longest episode we've done. Couldn't tell you how long. But that is it for today's episode, Phony Homies. Remember to shoot your start sit questions, draft questions, any questions you have, life questions, marital questions, sexual position questions to us, DL, on Twitter. Where at?
Tweet FFG.
And use the hashtag as always.
Ask us FFG.
And just so you know, you can always send us emails, DL. Where can you send the emails?
Ask us FFG@gmail.com.
Or leave your fantasy questions on our voicemail line. DL, where's that inbox?
Area code 708-655-4508.
Pretty simple, pretty easy. Thanks for tuning in, funny homies. For DL, thank you,
Whoa,
DL,
wait.
for your mediocre. Yeah?
Hold on. Let's remind them that we're starting 2 shows in a week. So we will be back with y'all on Thursday to go over wide receivers, which is going to be a marathon show too. So
Another crazy show. So what do? We did quarterbacks and tight ends. We did running backs and defenses, and we're going to do wide receivers alone.
Yeah, because, I mean, this was 2 hours, and there's 4
4
more wide receivers.
Yeah, way more. DL, where can they leave those voicemails?
708-655-4508.
Thank you so much for tuning in, funny homies. Thanks to DL for his mediocre fantasy advice. My name is John Carlo, JC, whatever you want to call me. Doesn't matter. We'll catch you on another episode on Thursday for more fantasy football advice. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and
smash
that notification button. We'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.